my little Luxes. Welcome to another Charsie Charms, and I'm your host, cosplayer Charsie Lux. Although technically I guess I'm not really in cosplay because this is kind of an everyday look that I could go out and about, especially in time for this weekend for St. Patrick's Day. But we're gonna see how I end up editing these. I may have this out. You should be seeing this either on Thursday or you might be seeing this on Sunday on St. Patrick's Day. So whatever day I have this on, it doesn't matter. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you are having an amazing day, that you're wearing green, that you're having fun out there, and just to celebrate with family and friends any way that you deem possible or that you want. But this one, I think I'm just going to talk about, well, anything and everything, and the updates that I am, well, pretty much on at this point. So the only thing, but I would, well, obviously, I am so happy to have my signed poster from John Carpenter, like I said, from my buddy Josh, that me and my husband just decided, hey, let's just get a real simple, easy, just frame that we could put it in, get it up on the wall till the day comes when we have a little bit more income and everything going on, which, I mean, obviously, with the state of the world and the economy it's in, we'll see how things end up going. But my plan that I would love to do with this poster is that someday I want to get like a, well, it's handmade, but I want to get like a really nice worn down gray looking wood frame for it, and I'm going to paint in like fake frost or snow or ice, however you want to think about it, that basically like peeking in the corners and that kind of thing, just to kind of go along with the vibe of the thing. So I am super happy that just to have it a part of my display, and it's been needing to be on my wall. I have my art wall over here, although some of the art pieces, like my hack slash pieces, will most likely end up over here. And so the whole idea was that this was just supposed to be a comfortable, welcoming space and everything, and then I will eventually have a couple of chairs here. So then the idea that if I do have a guest for like podcasting, or even if I'm just having a casual conversation with my hubby about movies and that kind of stuff, that we can be in this space and that it's just us being in a comfortable library cove, which is something I've always wanted anyways, was just an area that was just a comfortable place to hang out with friends. Obviously, we'll start with my Patreon first. We'll do like a nice little tour of what is on my shelf, and eventually I will get more bookshelf space and that kind of stuff and keep growing my collection as I go along. But yes, just to update you on everything that's going on, I always have updates here. But you know what? If I ever stop learning, it's when you stop learning that you literally start dying on the inside and everything. Because if you're not constantly growing and learning as a person, you really aren't living anymore. So my life goals is always that at some point I would love to travel. But anyway, so getting back on track, like I've said, that my channel is always going to be changing. But I need to get myself back into the mindset of where I was pre-2020. Before I was doing all the social media, and it got to the point where it's like, what happened to the version of me that just didn't care about what anybody else thought, where now it's like you're bombarded with almost too much information, or I should say, okay, this is me, this is my thoughts, this is my opinions, that there's just so much information, and that the longer I'm on social media, and the fact that I have like how many platforms now, it drives me up the wall. That I kind of hate social media. I love being able to connect with my friends, and I am so incredibly thankful for all the new friends that I have made while being Charsie Lux. And mind you, my journey as Charsie Lux started in August of 2020. Now, I apologize if you have heard this story a million times from me by now, because I've talked about it since I started this channel. I've kind of talked about the journey of becoming a cosplayer and whatnot, but I need to just get back to it just being fun, me just finding enjoyment with it. So my number one thing that I am going to end up doing is I'm going to start posting my ghost stories back on here again. I don't want the multiple channels. I never wanted the multiple channels. It was one of those things where it's like I kept trying to investigate online and trying to learn about what I needed to do to help grow my channel and this and that. And it's one of those things where I've been learning, because obviously everybody talks about the algorithm and what feeds it and this and that. But learning through the whole thing, YouTube doesn't care. And their version of what feeds the algorithm literally changes daily. So one week it could be one thing, and the next week it could be a totally opposite thing. Because number one, my biggest goal, always as being Charsie Lux, was that I wanted to be able to turn it into a full-time job. So the weirdest part with trying to push being able to do this as a full-time job, I have been, well, for my thought process, trying to go with the flow to figure out what was my niche, what did I want to do. I have changed what I've done with everything, pretty much. That because before it was just mainly posting the photos. I had photo shoots, and then I was lucky enough while posting my photos that I became a part of the Hack/Slash podcast that I was doing with Chris, and from there it grew into when I was doing Little Channel of Horrors, where I did that with DC, and that we just talked about movies and that. But that lasted for, I don't even think that channel lasted for a year that we were podcasting, because we both just were so busy that it just got to the point where I'm like, well, what if I just create my own channel and just make my own content? Because then it's one of those things where I can rely on my time, and that whenever I want to record, whatever I wanted to post, I could do, and that I could do the edits. And I've just been changing so much on here. Like, it's weird when I stop and I think about the journey that I have done, how much I have changed. And the biggest thing was that when I left my job in July of last year, that I got inside my own head and I'm like, this is it. This is where I can push as much time, put as much focus into my YouTube channel, and that I'll just create better quality videos. I'll be able to experiment, do more. And it's like, the more I kept doing and the more I kept trying to focus on what was the YouTube algorithm for growing my channel. Because let's face it, anyone who does YouTube is doing this for the views. They're doing it so that it becomes something, so that you can get monetized and you can make money off of your hobby, off of something that you love. Anybody who tells you otherwise, it's not true. Everybody who does YouTube is doing it for the views. So me, it was something that it was like, yeah, this is the opportunity that I can finally be able to get that dream job that I've wanted, that I would be able to afford to become this cosplayer. And my biggest thing was the quality and the fact that I a closet cosplayer. I like taking things that I have and using that opportunity to create multiple different costumes from the same pieces, but using different props, different accessories, taking clothes and revamping it, or buying pieces that I love and adore to use for either just my own personal style and fashion, but still being able to turn around and turn it into a costume if I wanted. Like, I have so many pieces for my steampunk cosplays that I still will wear as actual pieces, especially like the jackets and everything. Getting back on track. This is how my brain works. We're eventually gonna wrap it back around again. I am not going to delete scary stories my father told me, but I'm going to start posting them again here on my main channel. And it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, yeah, it seems like it's a whole bunch of randomness, but they're all me. This channel is me. It's Charsie Lux. And I love the scary stories, and I love talking about movies, and even with the Charsie chats, that kind of becomes like talking about the personalized stories that can relate to a topic, or it's just anything and everything that's going on, and maybe it's a subject that I just want to talk about. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, this has been the biggest realization for me, especially in my healing journey, because of the fact that I am always dealing with depression now at this point, which I had never dealt with it before, and it's just been a constant back and forth battle. And I'm also realizing that it's like, what's the biggest thing that has been going on in my life that I have to check myself for is the fact that I have to be very mindful and careful about social media and how much I'm on social media. Because that's the biggest factor. That I already had a situation happen in 2020, and then diving straight into doing Charsie Lux and being in social media. And before, I had the personality of, I don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks of me. I could have been naked on camera and I could have given a flying fuck. So it's like, what happened from there that my brain just had this flip a switch to where I truly think that I ended up caring too much, because I really was diving so much into I have to care what everybody else thinks in order to grow as a channel. And it's like, you know what? It's making me miserable. I need to reflect on this and realize that it's like, I need to just get back to having fun. And the whole problem that I think I've always had with Charsie Lux was that it was created to make money. And that I've always had the thought and the idea of turning cosplay into a career. And I need to just flip it around, and it needs to be a hobby. So from now on, I'm just going to be doing things on my channel that I want to do. And maybe someday I might return back to the scary stories my father told me, but from now on, I'm bringing them here onto my main channel. So some of my ones that I had just posted on there, I'm going to pull them over and I'm going to post them on this channel as well. So you're gonna probably see a little bit of like a double time of these videos showing up and everything, because I want everything to be here. It's going to be easier for everybody to find. I don't want people to have to go back and forth between channels and that. And it's like, I get it. They flat out say, and I've said his name several times on here before, I follow Peter Mon. He has 7 different channels because each channel is a different subject that he does. So, and I understand that that's what he wants to do, what he enjoys doing and everything. But for me, it just feels complicated. I don't want to have to start a new channel for like everything. And I'm glad I stopped myself from creating a Luxy Charms channel, because I was originally going to do that. And then I would have had the movie reviews on there. And it's like, I don't want that. I want it all right here. I want it to where it's this chaotic mosh podge, because guess what? That's my brain. That's what I'm doing 24/7. if you've been a part of my Charsie chats, and even just on this one right now, you can tell that I'm loop-de-looping. I will eventually get back to the main point of everything, but it's just, I'm gonna be finding a part-time job here soon. And it's just gonna be easier for me that I want all my videos to end up here. Because I can, in one day, I can record 2 to 3 videos, as long as I have everything organized, everything planned out, but I don't have to post them all in the same week. So it's one of those where I still want to keep it to where my channel is having weekly videos, and you're also seeing that I'm now starting to do shorts that have the movie trivias from the movie reviews and everything, and I'm going to start changing my movie reviews for that. When I give my movie reviews, I'm not gonna give like the tiny plot synopsis from IMDb anymore. I'm not gonna give the cast and the crew, and I'll basically share like a link to IMDb and to Wikipedia, basically stating like, hey, here's a link if you're interested in knowing who the cast and crew are. Here you are. And I'm just gonna jump right into talking about my thoughts of the film, so the let's get into it type of scenario. And then I'm gonna go straight into my thoughts, opinions, and recommendations of the film. And that from now on, I'm gonna have little movie shorts, those little 1-minute clips about the information and trivia or behind the scenes type of stuff, I'm gonna put into shorts. Because I've been noticing that the shorts have been doing really, really well. Because, in my opinion, it's unfortunately, people have very short attention spans right now. And with TikTok and Reels and now Shorts, that seems to be what people are gravitating to right now. So yes, you're gonna see a lot of like my old ones that I'm gonna pull those and turn some of those into little shorts with trivias and link them to the main video. But I've been having fun with that. It's one of those weird things where I'm like, I kind of enjoy this. This is something where I think it's just fun, me recording from my old videos and then turning it into a little short. I've been enjoying that. So that I want to keep pushing that to where the trivias will not be a part of the movie reviews anymore. I might talk about some of the facts while I'm in the film though too. We'll see. I mean, I'm always going to be changing. I'm always going to be developing. And I want to get back to, like I said, making this fun, making this a hobby. Actually, I should say, I want to do that in general. That I keep viewing all this as if it's a job, and I need to break away from that. I need this just to be for fun. Yes, obviously, I'm recording it for the views, and like I stated before, no one posts online with the intent of not wanting the view. If you didn't want the view, you'd make the video, but you'd make it private. It'd be for yourself. So yes, I always want to include it in here because I want everybody else's opinions and thoughts on things and to make it open conversations. But I also have to remind myself that it's okay that I love and appreciate underrated films, and I know it's not gonna pull in the biggest amount of people wanting to talk about them, but at the same time, that's okay, because the people that also love those films, it's like I found someone just recently who loves the film Tamra, and they just joined my channel and were talking to me about certain aspects from the film and that is exciting to me, that there's somebody else who loves and appreciates a film as much as I do that's completely underrated and everything. And there's another film that I'm going to be talking about here soon that no one talks about. Like, no one. I have seen no one talk about it. I just brought it up in my Patreon and I had said I was thinking about doing it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do a movie review on The Burrowers. And what's funny about that is for the longest time I couldn't even say Burrowers. I had to practice that because that was always a running joke. This movie is old enough that I had watched it with my dad. And when he came onto the movie, because it was about the time it first came out, and I couldn't even say it. I was doing like the whole thing, if you've ever heard someone try to say aluminum or cinnamon and they say it weird, and I was like, burrowers. So yes, I'm going to do a movie review on that. Yes, from time to time, I will still talk about well-known popular films. I may even talk about recent films that have come out. And in my channel, it's always with the understanding, spoiler alert. I probably should get in a better habit of announcing a film so perfect for me talking about the Burrowers is you can watch it on Tubi for free. So please include it on your list if you haven't watched it yet. Otherwise, please come watch my movie review on it. I'm excited to talk about it because, like I said, no one talks about it. I don't think I've seen anyone even post now watching or this or that. I don't think so. And what's weird is oh God, should I give any little hints? I mean, maybe I should save it for my review. I think I'll save it for the review. So I'm excited to talk about it if you can't tell. But yes, so anyway, I am just super excited for everybody that comes and joins me here. So thank you so much for joining me for another Charsie Chats. My next episode, or I might post it before, I don't know. I think I should save this episode, not this one, the one, so Leprechaun. You see, this is my brain. I think I should save my leprechaun episode for why am I doing air quotes? It's not it is leprechaun. I am going to post that on Sunday. Since that is St. Patty's Day, why not? Let's post on St. Patrick's Day. What my plan is to do another Charsie Chats. It's kind of a movie review at the same time, but not, because I've done it before. But 2 years ago, I did a movie review on the Leprechaun franchise, and I also told the order of what I thought of the films, or ranked them, I guess I should say, from least favorite to my top favorite. So be prepared for that one. That one will be coming next. Like I said, I'll get this one up on Thursday, and hopefully on Sunday I will have the Leprechaun franchise 2 years later update, because I do know that my ranking has changed. And it's weird, I always say this, how much we can change over time. And just in 2 years that my entire thought process has changed, except for one film. One film has not moved whatsoever, and you'll find out in that episode. But once again, thank you so much for joining me here on another Charsie Chats. And like I said, I got the thing up, and it takes up all of this space over here. So my initial plan was my wall was just gonna be full of different art pieces that I have, but you know what? The thing is more important by so many aspects. But we'll see. On that side, I'll probably have some more art. Might fit some more in over here or below it. And like I said, when it's set up for my podcast style, you'll see a lot more of it. And I'll eventually do little tours of things. But just like everything else, I will say, if you would like to follow all my other social medias, you know, all those things that drive me up the wall, because there's like 10 different ones that we have to have, but whatever. There will be a link in the description down below, and I would love to have you come and, well, actually I don't have to say that anymore. You don't have to come join me on my second channel, because Scary Stories My Father Told Me is coming back here. So yeah, we'll keep that super simple. And like I said, I will probably post some of those old ones over here just so I have them all here, because I'm up for debate on if I'm just going to private the new account or not. We'll see. But anyway, I can go in tangents. I can go in tangents for days. If I'm in a good mood, I can go on a tangent. If I'm in a bad mood, you can't get a word out of me. But anyway, and I would love for you to come and join me on my Patreon. And on the screen, you can see a shout out to my fellow Patreon members, and thank you so much for joining me on there. Your help and support is greatly appreciated. And also, remember, I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to come join me in the afterlife of the party. And always remember to slay. Subscribe, like, and always be yourself. And remember to love yourself, because self-love is the best love you can give yourself. Until next time, my little Luxes, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye!